All right, all right. Hello, Trading View community. Joseph here, aka Jose Pips. I don't really remember what order I usually announce that in. If it's Jose Pips, aka Joseph, or Joseph, aka Jose Pips. But anywho, just wanted to come on here, make a video today. I think a very relative video to kind of what's going on in the markets right now, and just hopefully bring some perspective in these markets on really what they represent, what they are, and the players that are behind them and that are responsible for moving these markets and what these moves really mean. Okay, so the title of today's video is going to be the chess game of the markets and how us as retail traders have the opportunity to watch both sides play. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about how the markets really are like chess and how we have the luxury and opportunity to watch and witness and see this chess match take place between the buyers and between the sellers. Because the reality is the markets, and this is with any market, okay, you have two things behind every single financial market, really any market in general. And that's two things. Number one is people, and number two is money. Okay. People and money are always behind the moves of the market, the reactions in the market. Okay. All of those things that we are witnessing on these charts from a technical perspective, even from fundamental perspectives, it has to do with people, it has to do with money. And I'll tell you one thing, from being a person and being someone, who's, anyone has managed money, there is emotion involved. Okay. There's emotion involved. There's emotion involved. There's certain intentions involved. There's certain motives involved. Okay. And when you're looking at the charts, when you're watching the markets, we are watching that play out in real time. We are literally watching a chess match. And we are watching what the moves of the buyers and sellers are going to be to help us determine what that next move may potentially be. We actually are getting the advantage by being from a third party perspective. Okay, we have no emotion behind whether we need to buy this or whether we need to sell this. Guys, this is very important. We have no intention other than we want to potentially make a profit from the moves happening. But for us, it's not a now, of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't treat trading as a business, but what I mean is the players behind this market that are moving this market, okay, that are buying, that are selling, releasing positions, adding positions, it is literally a business for them. And in order to continue to do business, price has to have certain they I guess a better way to put it is they want price in certain areas to do business. Okay? And so the markets are a reflection of that. And the really cool thing as traders, a lot of the time you hear about we have disadvantages retail traders. Okay, I understand that perspective. I understand, where people are coming from that. Maybe we don't have the institutional pricing, or maybe we're looking at markets that there's some discrepancies in price a little bit, or the capital or certain things. But the reality is, what I've learned is that as a retail trader, that you actually do have an edge, because like I said before, we have no emotional tie other than the fact of when we have a trade in place, but we have no tie to our business whether this market goes up or down. Our job is to just accurately read those moves happening in the market and then make a decision based on those moves and based on the market context. So we actually have an advantage if you're a retail trader watching this. And for myself being a fully technical trader, what I mean by that is looking at the markets and the charts and technical traits of the markets based on these graphs and charts to make my decisions, okay, for a trade. And what I learned a long time ago about these markets and about the charts and about the technicals is that the charts are a receipt of what the bigger players are already buying and selling. So I think a lot of traders mess themselves up because they come into the market emotionally hoping and expecting for a certain thing to happen just for those hopes and expectations to be crushed, because the reality is this market is not moving based on your hopes and expectations. It's moving on what those bigger players need to do in order to continue to keep business in place. Okay, so that alone is a mindset shift that I hope will help and serve each and every single one of you guys. Okay, so let's break down the chart a little bit. I have the NASDAQ 100 pulled up here. Let's break down this chart a little bit from a non-biased perspective, from a, hey, this is a chess match and we're the bystanders watching this chess match take place. And then I'm going to lead that into, in the next couple minutes, what us as traders can do to potentially, take action in the market and what it's doing right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into that. So before I have the daily time frame pulled up, I'm going to take you guys to the monthly time frame and broaden your perspectives a little bit. Okay, because I know that the traders who are on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute charts got a lot more emotional about the moves that happened this last week than position traders that may be on the monthlies and the weeklies. Okay, because the reality is, let's dive into it. The reality is, if you look here on the monthly time frame, okay, not much has happened. Okay, not much has happened. In fact, you could see there's been a lot more dramatic. I'm just going to go to areas where a lot of selling has been. A lot more dramatic moves. Okay, even this tiny one compared to what has happened so far in the market. Okay, so I would advise, whatever this is worth, that you don't get emotional over what's happening right now, but you try to take it from a logical perspective and take it from a perspective of, hey, this is a chess match. I'm witnessing this match happen. Where do I fit in? Not only that, but what is this even telling me? Okay, before we get super emotional about it. So if we go to the monthly time frame, really not much has happened. We're seeing a little reaction at these tops. Obviously, price has been running for quite some time. We had a pullback earlier this year, and then prices rallied to the upside, making new highs. Guys, if you look at the market, every time it makes a new high, okay, every time that it makes, let me actually use this tool here. Every time that the market makes a new high, subsequently what happens? We have a downturn in price. Every time the market makes a new high, subsequently we have a downturn in price. Okay, the market's making a new high. We could potentially be making a downward move in price. That seems to be a follow up to new highs being made in the market, right? We don't know, not even Warren Buffett knows, frankly, if this is going to be the top to the market. All we get to do is watch people and money. What are the people with the money going to do? What is happening in this chess match? Let's go down to the weekly. Guys, if you look at the weekly time frame and just look from a big perspective, what just recently happened really isn't that big of a deal. Okay. Yes, it was one of the larger candles in the last, few months. Okay. So that is something to watch out for, right? Again, chess is happening, right? Obviously, the seller made a pretty aggressive chess move. Okay. Yeah, this market is showing us that there's a downward chess move, aggressive chess move happening. Okay. So now the question is, what do we do from here? Right? And before that, the reality is this isn't much of a big deal yet. Okay. It's something we should be aware of and use deductive reasoning for and use analysis for. Okay, because the charts are a receipt. They're showing us the transactions that are already taking place by the bigger players who are the ones playing chess, right? What and then so that's number one. And then number two is, okay, what happens next, right? Well, if you guys have ever played chess, right? You have the two players, okay? Once one makes a move, what happens? Your turn next, right? Your turn next. So now the big question is going to be, okay, buyer, your turn next. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? I guess let me do this grammatically correct. What are you going to do? Okay? What are you going to do? What's your move? Okay, the seller came in, boom, aggressive move. Okay, great. Buyer, what are you going to do? This is a chess match between these two parties. We're seeing the seller in this chess match get a little aggressive. We're seeing some heavy selling coming in the market. Okay. Okay, buyer, what are you going to do? What is the next player going to do? And that will determine what that next move that next chess player does, whether this market, the seller wins, or whether we see the buyer continue his move. So guys, I'm going to end this video here. I try to keep my videos all around 10 minutes. Okay. I want to keep it as simple as possible, as insightful as possible, and just bring some perspective into what I think are very emotional things that happen in the market, which I get it. I understand, right? But as traders, witnessing a chess match take place between the buyers and the sellers, I think I want to encourage each and every single one of us, I don't want to say you guys because I'm included in that, to really take time and not get emotional over the moves happening in the market, but taking them one step at a time, realizing that we really have no emotional tie to these markets and there's no reason that we should, and that we should take it from purely deductive reasoning, okay, and from analysis and see what these markets tell us that they're doing and make a decision from that place. So guys, I hope this video brings some value to you. I hope this video reaches a lot of people. I think a lot of people need this, including myself. Okay. So there's no reason to get emotional over the move that the seller did. Our job as traders is to be like, okay, chess match, buyer, what are you going to do? And from that place of understanding, then we can maybe see, okay, where does the probability lie in this chess match for the next move to happen? All right, guys. Hope you got some nuggets from this video. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Cheers.